across LC with your hosts, Jeff Alsman and Cody Zippman.
And welcome to another edition of the A2Z Across LC podcast. Jeff Alsman here. My co-host Cody Zippman is here as well. And
hey, Jeff.
We're here to do another show.
Let's roll.
Hey, we've got these new graphics. Have you seen them yet?
I like them. They're up to par. It's about time then.
Just up to par? I think they're well over par.
I mean, compete level has to be raised.
No, you're always pressing.
Like
pressing.
Winners do that, man.
Yeah, you're right, I suppose. Well, we want to thank Hannah for doing that.
Yeah, Hannah. Shout out Hannah. Awesome job out
she
there.
does all the graphics for our podcast and probably lots of other stuff here at the station as well. And
it's nice to know that Lim and O aren't holding her back.
She's got all the talent.
He's got a little crooked smile across the way. I like it. I mean, that was a good one.
Lim, the legend, is producing for us today. Producer O is on assignment. As you know, that's what they say. It doesn't matter what you're doing.
Assignment,
on assignment.
Lunch.
At the buffet or wherever it might be.
I like it. On assignment. That's good.
That's a great excuse. So you can always just say on assignment. It sounds so professional. Covers everything.
I got to circle back real quick. Hannah, really awesome job.
Yeah,
I was being stupid. You know my role on this show. So good job, Hannah.
Very good. Very good. Yeah. We love everything that Hannah does for us with all the graphic work, and she's very, very, very talented. So thank you very much.
Yep, 100%. How are you, partner?
I'm good. You?
Good.
Let's talk a little bit about what we've got on the show today. We're going to have the Illinois Community College Trustee Association Outstanding Faculty Member, full-time Faculty Member of the Year.
Full-time Fuller.
Yes, and then also we're going to talk about the Lewis and Clark.
I got another laugh over there. It's a good day. It's a good show. Tune in.
The problem is he's not on camera. Nobody knows he's laughing.
I know, but I'm just play-by-play. You know about play-by-play.
I do know play-by-play.
You're good. You're a legend. I heard you the other day.
Well, how about that?
Yeah.
You also interrupted me. We were about to say that we're going to be talking about the Lewis and Clark Pharmacy Technician Program here, and then we're going to talk to a couple of baseball players. Baseball season right around the corner. We've already started baseball and softball here at Lewis and Clark, and spring training just kicked off. So I was going to give you a chance to talk a little bit about spring training. You know, you're the big baseball player, athlete, always bragging about your prowess and how good you were and all that. So
I wasn't that great. I'm sitting here with you.
I thought you were honored to be part of this.
I am. It's an awesome time. I love it. Spring training. I mean, what do you want to talk about spring training?
Well, I
don't know if the cards have been relevant in the last couple of years, right? You know what I mean? 500 club, it's across the river.
Yeah, it's just, but you don't have to be great in that division. You just have to be better than the other mediocre teams. So, I don't know. The youth movement is on.
It is on.
For the
There's some exciting young players. I think that's kind of what right now is like we're in a retool in St. Louis, I'd say.
Yeah. The only bad part to me is like, there's no hero to root for. For so many years, there was one or multiple players that was like the fan favorite that you'd be willing to pay to go see, and nobody has broken that mold.
You know what I always will say, and I think me and Lim had a conversation on this before, is being in St. Louis, if you're talking baseball, we've been so spoiled, okay? Our retools are 10 games under, 500 clubs. Think about if we were the one that we won 20 ball games. Or what did the White Sox win?
They set a record.
The record.
Yeah.
We never experienced that in St. Louis.
No, yeah, we were certainly spoiled.
But we talk about compete level, that's what it is. We're always pushing. Yeah. So that's why I'd say we're upset right now.
Right now is just kind of a mediocre time across the board.
100%.
St. Louis City SC not as good as they were when they first broke into the league, and
Blues are in a retool.
But just think, when all the retool has tooled,
then we got a decade,
we're going to be on fire,
15 years, and we're rolling again.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for at least.
Yep.
Hey, we ought to let you know that you can go find out about all the events that happen on campus by going to events.lc.edu and checking out the public calendar. And right around the corner, we got some big events coming over to the Riverbend Arena, too, that we got to change the floor and everything for.
Yes, we do.
So all those things are on there. But lots of different events on the calendar that you can go check out just by going to the website and doing a quick search. So
we're going to circle back on that and announce those events, right?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty excited about BlazerCon. I got into D&D a couple weeks ago.
The D&D.
Oh, the D&D, Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah. That's
for all my fans out there.
You're going to spend all day doing that.
We did 8 hours. It was awesome.
Was it?
Me and Matt Clark, first time ever experiencing it, I can see why everybody gets into it.
Really? I've never done that and really never had any desire.
I think you would jump into it.
I may have to watch over your shoulder next time you go mess around with it.
Sounds good.
So why don't we take a break? When we come back, we're going to talk about our full-time faculty member who is the nominee from the school for the Illinois Community College Trustees Association Faculty Member of the Year. That's a long title.
Is. That's why I go with just full-time Fuller.
I don't know how you put that on a plaque. Take us out and then we'll come back.
We are
LC A2Z. Welcome to Lewis and Clark Reed Memorial Library. Let me show you around. We're not just about studying. It's a place to unleash your creativity and connect with others. Grab a snack, sip on some coffee, and dive into a board game or puzzle. Want to make something cool? We've got 3D printers and Cricut machines to bring your ideas to life. And if you need research help, we've got you covered. Whether you're working on a project or just kicking back with friends, the library's got everything you need to succeed and have fun while doing it. Oh, I almost forgot. Books. We've got those too. Whether you're into graphic novels, young adult, sci-fi, or biographies, we've got it all. So whether you're here to study, create, or just relax, the library's got something for everyone. So come on in and make the library your own.
Welcome back to the A to Z Across LC podcast. Jeff Alsman and Cody Zipman with you, and we are joined by the faculty, the full-time faculty nominee for the Illinois Community College Trustees Association Outstanding Full-Time Faculty Member of the Year. And Cody, I'm going to just read through this intro because it has so much information that will explain why this particular person is up for this great award and how deserving they are. She started as a full-time faculty person at Lewis and Clark in 2006, teaching English and literature courses, earned a bachelor's in communications from St. Louis University and master's degrees in English from Eastern Illinois and St. Louis U, also personal finance planning from Kansas State University. Currently working on her dissertation for a doctorate in education with a specialization in instructional design and technology. Man, talk about well-rounded, all kinds of different things. She has been instrumental in the development of competency-based education here at Lewis and Clark and has traveled to bunches of colleges across the country to discuss CBE. She's currently enrolled in a doctoral program to increase her knowledge and expertise in that area. She also took it upon herself to develop the CBE guidebook for faculty on campus and has transitioned her courses to CBE and offered those courses as a model for other faculty. And she's been an active member of the Lewis and Clark Community College Faculty Association. I don't know how she has time for much of anything else, but we'd like to welcome Jen Fuhler to the program.
Woo. Thank you.
My goodness. I put my glasses back on now so I can see her instead of the
Dr.
computer.
T popped up a couple times when you said CBE.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he pops up like that.
He's definitely on board big time with the CBE. So for people who don't know, we go around throwing out the CBE and kind of think we know what that means. But for folks who don't, tell us what is CBE, how it came about, what the importance of it, and how it's impacted you.
Yeah, you definitely hear it a lot here at Lewis and Clark for good reason. We're growing quite a bit in our CBE pathways. There's not really a one-size-fits-all definition for CBE, but if you go into a welding class, it's going to look a little different than an English class, which is different than a child development class. So each of our classes take a different perspective when it comes to CBE. But in general, CBE is really having a really student-focused classroom where students are setting their own pace. They're working towards their objectives at the speed that they feel comfortable with and they feel confident with. They're mastering the information. They're actually meeting competency. So that's, it's kind of like a framework for teaching and not really a template that people can kind of copy and paste from one class to the next.
So if I tried to simplify that even more, it's more where the learning is based around what the student actually will need to do when they leave the program and go into the workforce, as opposed to learning a bunch of tangential things that may not be specific to the field that they're going in? Is that too simplified?
Yeah, it really focuses on the outcomes that students are supposed to be able to achieve. So in my class, they need to be able to write to a certain level, have certain critical thinking skills. In welding, they're going to have other skills. And so our classrooms are really designed for students to meet that. So if a student comes in and they're really proficient with writing, they can move a lot faster in my class than what they normally could have in a traditional class. Same with welding and other classes that we have as CBE. It really builds on your knowledge. So if you come in with a lot of experience, you can set your own pace and move a little faster if you wanted to.
It sounds like it's a lot flexible, like to the student.
Yes.
Like whatever works best for them.
Flexibility, and as Dr. T loves to say, agility. It offers a lot of agility. I think it's great for working parents, people who are working in general, people who are caregivers in some way, maybe people who have physical or mental issues that they're dealing with that may prevent them from being able to be more consistent with their schedule. They can take a pause, they can move faster, they can really work around their own schedule. They can work just on weekends if they wanted to, or just in the evenings, so it gives them a lot of flexibility.
So talk just a little bit about the award. Were you surprised when you found out you were going to be nominated?
I was. I've just been kind of had my head down working in the CBE world and forget that there's so much else going on here that to be recognized for it was really, really great. And very much a surprise too, because we have really great faculty here and many of them are very deserving of this award as well.
Now, there are some interesting things because I have contacts, so I got the PowerPoint that displays some of the slides that are part of your application and reveals some of those secretive things about you that maybe people don't know. But on our program, we reveal all of that. So
we do.
Let's go.
So we're going to ask
you
some of these things so that you can share some of this information that right now only the folks that are voting on the award might know about. So Cody, you want to start things out and test her ability to.
She's a baker and a baboon whisperer, and
all
I'm
at the same
interested
time?
here.
That, those two
I'm
go
just
together.
I'm just gonna knock those out. You can have the budget and find it.
Okay, you want
the bakery.
You
and
want
baboon
you want the fun ones.
100%.
Okay.
Well, those are not combined. There's not a bakery and baboon story together, but
can they be for sake of the show ratings?
That would be interesting. Yes,
it
would be interesting. We trained some baboons.
Well, I was starting to feel bad for the baboon. I wasn't sure what happened to the baboon at the bakery. So it's good to know those are not connected.
Two separate things.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, it was really interesting to watch the presentation. So it did have the baboon whisper, which was a fun fact that I mentioned when I was hired here. Of course, you get that first day and the first orientation, all of that, and they wanted to know a fun fact about me. So I shared that when I was in South Africa, I was there with a graduate program for a month, studying the literature, the politics, the culture. And while I was there, a friend of mine had a baboon while we were hiking, jumped on her back, took her purse, ran off with it. And so we had a little bit of an ordeal trying to get the purse back. But it was interesting watching the baboon flip through her passport and look at her lipstick and that fun stuff. So it was a fun fact, I thought. Apparently, people remember it after 19 years.
Well, it's not everybody who has any type of connection to a baboon. So it kind of does stick with you. Yeah.
Yeah. And the bakery story, about 15 years ago, I walked into a one-bedroom house that was for sale. It was in Brussels, and I could just visualize it becoming like a little cafe. So my family and I worked together to create the house, make the house into a bakery. And I worked there Friday evenings, Saturdays, and Sundays, and I was here Monday through Friday. So it was a very tough schedule for a few years, but a lot of really great memories, seeing my family in there and bringing the community together on the weekends to have a good breakfast together.
So is that where your interest in finance and budgeting and things like that came? Did that flow out of running the business, or is that just something you've always been interested in, even apart from that?
It's something I've kind of had to be interested in, because doing things like that just going to school, with student loans and all of the big process of trying to get an education, it can get expensive. So I've always been very interested in studying, how I spend money and where it goes, and trying to make the money meet the goals. So I try to make sure that I have enough and plan ahead for the things that I really want to do in life. So that's where that kind of comes from too.
So Mary Schulte, one of our VPs here, good friends, shout out Mary. She always calls those financial budget reports riveting. Are they riveting to you?
They are. I check my budget first thing in the morning, last thing before I go to sleep. It is. It tells a story. It seems like the English and the personal finance are disconnected, but in many ways they're very combined in that they're telling a story. So my story shows me how I earn my money and how I'm spending my money and the life that I'm creating with it. So those two I think it's riveting at least. And shout out to Mary too. I think we think the same way there.
And how to keep your money away from the baboon all at the same time.
Yes.
All in one.
That's the bonus information at the end of a report.
Yeah, it goes down in the comments
bonus
section.
notes.
I was going to ask that because as we were talking, through your intro, it talked about the English and the communications. And then it shifted, of course, CBE is throughout that, but then it shifted to technology and budgeting. And I'm trying to figure out how to put all that together. And I kind of can see now how it all fits. Mm-hmm. So interesting. You don't find out a lot about people unless they come on our program, Cody.
I know.
And then you may learn more than you wanted to know, or more than they wanted to, divulge. So
I always give you props for bringing on our show. It's good.
So they will announce the winner of the award this summer, correct? Yes. And do you know ahead of time, or do you just have to go to the event and then cross your fingers and hope your name is called? Or how does
I'm thinking
work?
That's it. Yes, it's in early June, so I think I'll show up, and either way, I'll be cheering on other people from around the state and excited to meet new people and see the best of the best in the state of Illinois.
Do you know the setup of all this? Do you guys know the setup?
I don't.
Are they at tables? Does she have to practice her fake,
the draft,
hey,
or
congratulations?
It's the Academy Awards.
Yeah, does she have to practice that?
I should watch some award shows just for inspiration and see how to control my mannerisms, my facial expressions.
So what I want to know, somebody with the English and communications background, will you go up there with a prepared speech as though you won, or will you just wing it if your name is called?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm planning on doing my best, but I think my history already stands for itself. So I'll either show up and win, or I'll show up and cheer. And I don't know. Maybe I'll give it some thought while I'm driving.
We should practice that right now.
I was at an event one time where the group that I was in, we had done it was actually a musical, and it was up for an award. It was Alton Little Theater, and one of the leads in the musical, two of them from our group, was up for the same award. And the guy that won it was hilarious. The guy that won it went up on stage and goes, I had no idea. This is such a surprise. I had no idea. And then he reaches into his pocket and pulls out the speech he had prepared and gave the speech. And it was awesome. Like, oh, yeah, how about that? So
I'll have to take a note from that and be prepared.
I don't know if that's the way you want to do it or not.
I mean, I think you're safe there. You can always, that's the go-to for sure.
Something to fall back on.
Yes.
Well, we're rooting for you for sure, and we hope that your name is the one that is called, and you'll bring back the trophy and put it in your room on your desk or wherever you put that kind of stuff. I'm sure you know.
I don't know if it's a trophy. With that, how long that award name is?
Oh, that's
for
true.
Sure,
with a name that long.
It's a banner.
It's a banner.
Right there.
It's a banner for sure. Yes, you put it on the back of your car. It's like a big bumper sticker.
Bumper sticker.
Well, whatever it turns out to be, we hope you win it. And we certainly wish you the best and continued success moving forward with the competency-based stuff. And keep us in the loop, because it sounds like that's kind of the direction things are really trending towards right now.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time to be here at Lewis & Clark.
So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Lewis & Clark Pharmacy Technician Program. We will do that right after this.
We are
LC A2Z.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis & Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but my path could have been in exercise science. Let's go! Or I could have discovered the artist in me.
Welcome back to the A to Z Across LC podcast. Jeff Alsman here. My co-host Cody Zipman is in the building as well, and we are joined now by Kayci Sackmann, who's course coordinator for the Lewis & Clark Pharmacy Technician Program, as well as the creator of it, I believe.
She's killing it,
Cody. So she's like double duty.
I remember when she had one student, I was putting the shelves in from the third floor. That's why I was texting. Yeah, 100%.
Well,
logistics days.
Welcome to the podcast, and tell us all about the Lewis and Clark Pharmacy Tech Program, because sounds like nobody knows it better than you do.
That's right. Well, thanks for having me, guys. And let me tell you a little bit about it. So the Pharmacy Technician Program is a 16-week long course where at the end of it, you take your certification exam to be a certified pharmacy technician. So the program itself is divided into 4 classes. You take 2 classes during the first 8 weeks and 2 classes during the second 8 weeks. The classes themselves, they're divided into lecture and lab, and lab's a great opportunity for students to kind of do a lot of that hands-on work. So we get to compound new medications. We might make capsules or ointments and creams and things like that. And students really enjoy lab. Of course, we also do everything as it pertains to the pharmacy world. So we get to experience, how we might interact with patients and, things like inventory and whatnot. Also, during the second 8 weeks, the students will complete a internship where they get to go and work in a real pharmacy for those 8 weeks. This is a great opportunity because students get to not only apply what they're learning in the classroom, but also kind of see like maybe what they like or not like about pharmacy. And really, students really enjoy the pharmacy internship because it also is a great opportunity to network for possible jobs. And so that's really one of my biggest things I like to tell students about the internship is, utilize this time as a potential job opportunity. There's such a great need for pharmacy technicians right now that a lot of my students that where they get placed for their internship, they're getting hired on right now, which is really awesome for them. For my students, so I had 4 students last semester and 3 out of the 4 students got hired on during their internship, which was really great. So there's a huge need for pharmacy technicians right now.
So go back just a little bit, because I'm going to ask you a question that I bet Cody's dying to ask. When you go back to your, I'm going to call it practicum, and that's probably not right, your hands-on part.
Yeah.
And you're mixing things and making capsules, and is that like using real stuff, or using you mixing like mayonnaise and sugar and calling it muscle cream or something like that? What?
A little bit of both,
Okay.
So some of these things we're using like just fake sugar, things and whatnot like that. But for instance, we get to make a butt paste. That's what it's called. So,
okay, now stop right there, because I know Cody's dying. Cody's dying right now to find out what this is.
So butt paste is the actual diaper cream. So our students get to make a diaper cream that is made with all the real ingredients.
Is that the brand name?
That is the brand name. So it's butt paste is what it is. So
I've never heard of that.
A lot of students, whenever they hear that, they think I'm just making things up.
That's what I thought.
So same thing, like we get to make magic mouthwash. So that's what it's called, is magic mouthwash. So if you've ever gotten that from the pharmacy, we get to make that, but that's not with the real medications in class. But yeah, so you get to do all sorts of things. So yes, we actually get to make something that is real, but some things we absolutely can't do in class without real medications. So,
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
Thank you,
You
sir.
took a big breath and looked at me like,
I was like, oh,
I'm be quiet over there. It's my turn. So go ahead.
I like the building aspect of this, and I met you when we were first putting this stuff in your classroom. So just tell me from those early days to now, right? Like you're crushing it.
Oh, I'm glad that you asked about this because, if someone who walks into the classroom now, it was very different from my first student that was there. So
Say that again. Your first student, one.
The first
Yes.
class was one
number
student.
one student. That's right. I needed one student to apply for accreditation for this program, and I got my one student for that we needed, and bless that student for being there. That's what I needed. And but anyway, so looking at the program as a whole, though, we've expanded it from, like Cody is saying, he came in and he helped me put in my shelves and everything. So our classroom itself looks like a pharmacy. That's the idea behind it. So we have our shelves in the classroom that have all the medication bottles, not with real medication in them, but students will get to see what and feel what that looks like in a real pharmacy. And we also have a little bit of a hospital side to it. We have shelves that might look like in a hospital setting, things that might look like the retail setting. But we've really expanded since then. We have software back there now, and just all sorts of things that really give that pharmacy feel in the classroom.
One of these days, Cody, we've got to reach a point where we're able to go into these areas and do an on location so that the folks can actually see what she's explaining and really get a feel for what's happening.
I say that every time.
You're gonna have to talk.
Producers.
You're gonna have to talk to your buddy.
Look at that over there. He's already thinking about it now.
You're gonna have to talk to your buddy who controls the budgets and figure out a way to make that happen.
I'll have you guys over there next week. We can make this an annual thing every Monday.
Legendary limb. Every Monday? Let's go. A little collaboration between two programs. I like it.
So I want to know, is there any other program where you can do 2 8-week courses and be ready to roll right out into the market? That sounds like it's unreal. What an opportunity.
It's a great opportunity for students, and I stress that to them. I tell students, if you're even just thinking about being in the medical field and you're not for sure which direction you want to go, try the pharmacy technician program, and for a couple reasons. So I tell them it's only 16 weeks long. You can test out, start feeling medical terminology, things like that, see if you like it. And at the end, you'll be a certified pharmacy technician. If you want to continue on pharmacy tech, that's great. But at the same time, if you decide that maybe you want to pursue something else, go on to nursing, maybe dental or something, you now have that background of all that pharmacy. It's going to put you light years ahead if you decide to go to another route. So it's amazing having this opportunity to offer to students to do 1 semester long, and they can, start their career essentially. I've had one of my students that she got hired on at her internship. Halfway through it, she got a $2,000 sign-on bonus. She has a 401k. Right off the bat, and she continued on with her, her career with that, which is amazing, I think, for students that can do that. So 16 weeks. I think it's a great opportunity for students.
Are most of these in the types of pharmacies we would think of, like the national brand type, or is it also hospital pharmacies? Could it be any of the above?
Yeah, that is a great question, because I know anytime someone says pharmacy, they usually think like CVS, Walgreens. That's your big thing that you think of. And we absolutely do offer those internships to students. It's a great learning experience. But we have a variety. So we have our hospital, we have our big box chain stores, we have independents. I just recently added on a long-term care facility, which is very exciting for students because they always want to gravitate towards the hospital setting, and this is kind of an in-between for students. And we're always looking to have more sites come. I've tried reaching out to different like behavioral health pharmacies and things like that. So I'm interested in all and any. We offer more than just the regular retail ones.
You mentioned some of those names, like those brand names. Cody usually tries to get him to buy a banner real fast while he's, when you throw those out for the athletic department. He's always fundraising.
Walgreens, CVS, you know what?
I'm surprised he didn't cut you off. He's being
She's
a
passionate. She's passionate. She's into it right now, and I'm fired up. I feel like she should be a coach. This is your recruiting pitch on all of this, right?
Yeah,
get your
that's
job
exactly
signing
right.
Bonuses. We have all these things. Here we go.
That's how I get my students. I tell them all the good things. Good thing is it's all true what I'm saying, so they can get it. So that's what's positive.
No bait and switch.
None.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Very cool stuff.
So what other things are important to know if this is the area that you want to go in besides just the hands-on part? I'm sure there has to be other knowledge that has to be applied, whether it's math or science or maybe both. It can't just be mixing up creams and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
You need to know the amounts and kind of give us a rundown of some other skills that might be important.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the classes that we take is calculations, pharmacy calculations. So students will get that experience of how to calculate different dosages for patients and things like that. At the same time, big portion of this is learning brand generic of medications and things like that. So that is a large thing that we do in classes, going over those, and students will become very knowledgeable and well-versed in that. The calculations class does get its own kind of course in there. However, I tell students not to fear with calculations. We start from the very beginning, so they don't need any prior, you said, is there any prior knowledge or anything that they might need? We don't need any other prerequisites, I guess I should say, for this program, which is really awesome. So we learn about calculations, we do brand generic, we go over really the entire background of pharmacy as a whole. There's all different areas that we cover. But students tend to be more excited when I tell them that we get to be crushing up tablets or, making new drugs and things like that. That's usually what motivates them when they hear that.
So if somebody wants to sign up for the next round of classes, when do they need to do that? How far in advance? And how would they do that?
So contacting the advisor for the program, we can get them enrolled right away as soon as they are interested. Like I said, so no prerequisites. We do take new students every single semester. So I have my round right now for the spring, and they will be completely done with the program at the end of this, and we'll start a new round in the fall. So whenever enrollment is open, they're good to go ahead and enroll in the program.
Keep it growing and growing and growing.
That's what I hope.
It's good stuff, Kayci. Good stuff.
Absolutely. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for telling us about the program. Continued success, and hopefully you can send a lot of folks in down that career path. Sounds like there are certainly lots of opportunities there for folks that are interested in going that direction.
I hope so, yeah.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk with a couple of the Lewis and Clark baseball players about how the season has kicked off. We'll do that right after this.
We are
LC A2Z.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been a process operator. Yeah, my path could have been in graphic design.
Welcome back to the A to Z Across LC podcast. Jeff Alsman, Cody Zippman here, and we are going to talk Lewis and Clark baseball. It's baseball and softball season. We're heading into the spring, and we've got a couple of baseball players with us, Jacoby Gross and Nick Muskoph from the Lewis and Clark baseball team. We've got the infield and the outfield covered, Cody, so we are good to go.
I didn't know you were bringing in players from other schools. Is that Maryville on
well,
there?
we've got blue.
Yes.
We got the blue.
This is the LC podcast, right?
What, somebody didn't get the memo, or
I guess not.
you're
Come
just
on,
like
man.
incredibly
Yeah, I know.
embarrassing somebody right on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm just loosening them up.
You would, yeah.
They're all
He's-
fired up right now. Boys,
So,
it's good to have you.
It is good to have
Good to
both
have
of you. So there probably hasn't been a whole lot of season happening because of the cold weather. First the snow, and then the extended cold spell. So I'm guessing you played maybe a couple of games here and there at the most, or
Yeah, just two.
Just two, what'd you do?
How'd it go?
We did get the sweep in both of them.
Let's go. Yeah, tone me down on that one.
No, I didn't
Yeah.
tone you down.
I thought I did this.
You did.
You're all
you
good?
probably got out of focus, but we're
Oh,
used,
yeah, that's right.
We're used to that.
Boys, tell us about it.
That's why we have producers that do stuff in the editing format to make you look good.
Legendary Limb. Shout out.
So who wants to start? Tell us about
Go ahead, Nick.
what's been going on.
All right, yeah. So we played John Wood. He's a conference opponent. So it was first game of the year, big game, and we came out and swept them. And we beat them pretty good too. I think we beat them 4-1 and then 13-1.
Yep,
so,
that's it.
10 run.
Short
short
game.
game.
It was
Short
a
game.
short game,
Yeah.
the second one.
Short games are nice because then you get to go to the post game meal a lot quicker, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Is that how that works? You guys.
Not to mention the weather, right?
Well,
Come
that's
on, how
true.
wa-
too.
how
What
was
it
that
like
out there?
35, 30, maybe 40,
Yeah,
and windy?
by that second game, it got pretty cold there when that wind started picking up and the sun was going down, and yeah, it got pretty brutal there. It was nice getting out of there early.
And you're in the outfield,
Yep.
and the wind blows harder in the outfield, right?
Yeah, and you're doing a lot of standing out there, so it's pretty easy to get cold.
So Jacoby's a center fielder, and Nick is shortstop, but also can play some third base and kind of versatile across the infield, right?
Yeah. I'll be playing like both positions this year, switching off and on. So
Do you have a preference?
I came in as a shortstop, so I like short more. But either position's good. I like both.
This is what I heard. Coach Ferguson, I am the shortstop. That's what I heard.
you heard.
Don't worry about it. He doesn't listen to this podcast.
Till today.
So how was till today. So how was the game? What for you guys?
It was good. Had a pretty good day. I think in the two games, I was 4 for 8 on the day.
Ooh, 500 right out of the.
a
You're
good
probably
start.
leading the conference with that, I would think.
Nope, we got guys on our team hitting better. Got a kid hitting 800 after that.
Really?
100.
Wow.
No pitching on.
I never
early.
hit 800 except in slow pitch softball in the church league, and that was only for like a week. It My goodness.
So yeah.
So 800. So how are you going to keep up with that?
Well, the first game I was 0 for 3. So going
that's
to the
not a
second
good
game,
start.
I'm like, I came up first AB with the bases loaded. First pitch I saw, home run.
Oh,
Opposite
there you
field.
go. There you
Really?
So I had to get
redemption.
something going,
Anybody
yeah.
on base?
Oh, I was on second.
4. A little
Yeah,
grand
grand
slam.
slam. You got a
Grand slam,
Let's
yep.
go.
So I'm guessing you're the only player right now with a grand slam on the team. I
On the
would
team,
think.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Bragging
got
rights.
2 guys with homers, me and another kid. So
Very cool.
So
So
you
did
go
you-
up to him and say, "Ha, mine was a grand slam."
yeah, it was a little cooler.
Yeah.
Mine was a little cooler.
Did you know it was out?
No, I didn't. I didn't think
So
it
you're
was
just
gone.
sprinting around? Little
Yeah.
Scott Rowland line?
I didn't know it was gone until I was on second base.
Okay.
And the guy in front of me started jogging. I'm like, oh, that got out.
Yeah, I was on second at the time, and I was yelling for you guys to tag up because I thought it was just a fly ball to right field.
So you really underestimated his
Yeah,
power.
I didn't think you'd go the other way with it.
Just think, grand slam, no chance for a bat flip or anything.
No,
You're
there's a
just
sprint around. Scott
dropping it
Rowland
around.
base.
So if you guys did a bat flip, would you get in trouble?
Oh yeah, we cannot do that.
Okay, I
That's
figured
big.
not.
They-
Yeah.
That came down from the top.
Yeah,
that's a big
Like you
rule.
cannot do it. They boot you.
They
Yeah.
will throw you
Yeah.
out of the game immediately.
Yeah, I kind
Yeah.
of figured that would not be the best scenario.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about, let's go student side because you are student athletes. So what are you guys into, LC?
I'm doing criminal justice right now. Looking to get my bachelor's in that and maybe join the state police force if anything. But who knows? That could change because I've already changed my major once.
You heading to Maryville after this? Promoting them over there?
Possibility.
Leaning that way?
It's
That's why you wore that.
No. I'm keeping my
Okay.
options open.
All right, options open.
And I'm going to get my associates in science here. But next year, I'm going to Illinois College to play baseball. And when I go there, I want to get my educational degree and teach high school math.
Oh wow.
Very cool.
So he wants to keep his stats. That's why he's a
Heck,
math
that's what it
guy.
sounds like.
So when you get to Illinois College, you're going to go up to the coach and say, "I'm the shortstop there too," or
I'm the shortstop,
I'll
but I
play
drop
wherever he needs
bombs.
me to, yeah. I
I'm
sent the
dropping,
video to
I drop
Kyle.
bombs. Yeah, put somebody, anybody else, any other shortstop you
That's
got to
right.
get hit the ball
Yeah.
out. I'm the guy.
I'm the guy.
Cool. So everybody talks about, this time of the year, pitching versus hitting and the cold weather and all that kind of stuff. And they say that one really has an advantage over the other. And you guys neither one pitchers, so you're probably going to say the pitchers have the advantage. But I'm just curious, how much impact does that have here in early going?
Well, for the hitter standpoint, I mean, when it's cold like that, if you're not barreling the ball, you're going to be ringing for the next 5-10 minutes. And obviously the ball is not going to travel as well in the cold weather like that. But the pitching stuff, I don't really know. I know velo would be down, obviously, because just not as warm as a day. But
The slickness of the ball too, right? It gets really cold, so you don't have
I would
that
think
thing
it'd
on
be-
there.
Your, your grip
Yeah.
wouldn't be as good, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never pitched, so I don't know for sure. But
I just from the pitchers would come in and they'd always talk about that I don't have the control on it, or I can't get the spin, and now they talk about spin rate
Yeah.
and everything else.
yeah.
So, yeah,
I just know it's no fun to play in the cold. It doesn't matter what position.
no, it's terrible because
you're
you're always standing, right?
playing.
It's
and the
not
worst,
that constant.
yeah, and it's even worse if you're on the bench.
yeah. Oh.
That's even worse if you happen to find yourself there. So, yeah. So, have you pitched? Being a shortstop, you might have pitched earlier in your high school. A lot of times they put the shortstop, the guy with a good arm, so he's either been an outfielder or maybe he pitches also, or you're just straight shortstop.
No, I mainly just played infield. I pitched maybe twice a year in high school, but not a lot. Just mainly field.
So I want to play a little bit of a game with these guys. You okay with
yeah,
that?
let's do.
All right.
We don't have any kind of award or anything like that.
Bragging
but
rights, right?
Bragging
Because
rights, yeah.
their whole team's going to listen to this
That's
once
what I'm
we
sure
get
they
it,
will.
and then they'll go
We'll
back
actually
and
have
forth.
some listenership after this.
That's right. About 43 listeners.
43.
That's good. That'd be what?
So be careful what you say.
40
about
more
the
than
other
we
guys.
already have right now?
Probably something like that. Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about, I'm going to throw you out some minor league team names, okay? We'll start with you.
I'm gonna keep score.
yeah.
Actually, I'll tell you what. You pick who we start with just because you hit the granny. Okay, so if you want to, and I'm going to go 2 questions, and then I'll come back. So you want to be home or away?
I'd go first to set the expectations.
Set the tone.
All right, I'll set the tone.
Okay.
I'll set the
But
tone.
you got to be good if you're going to
Yeah,
do that,
yeah.
or so.
All right, so it's real or fake? I'm gonna start off. Ready? The Greenville Drive.
The Greenville. I don't know why I repeated that. It just.
That's it. That's good. Let's
kinda
do
like
that the whole time.
It's like
That
the
was
MC thing. Was that
It's
good?
practice.
Okay.
I like that.
All right, I'll do it again. Say, what was it? The Greenville.
The Greenville Drive.
Drive.
I'm going to say they're not real.
Oh,
Real. 0 for 1. This isn't going to be like your first game, is it?
looking like it.
That's
It
what
says
you know.
right here.
Hey, but you rebounded. 0 for,
You did.
so he's 0
Okay.
for 3 right now.
Right.
All right.
And now he's up with the bases loaded. A chance to redeem himself
All right, here we
with
go.
question number 2.
The Amarillo Sod Poodles.
I don't even know the Amarillo Sod Poodles.
Wow.
I'm gonna say they're real.
Correct.
Okay.
See,
One for
there
two.
he is.
I'll take it.
Come back.
Pulled it out.
Swung a
Pulled
hit
it
deep
out.
to right. This ball might go. It is out of the ballpark. It's Musgrave with
And-
a leadoff grand slam. Not possible.
And that's why. And that's
With
why
the first grand slam of
you
the
don't
season.
do play-by-play.
I don't, but you do.
I do, but
You're excellent at it.
Well,
You didn't even know I was standing right
twice
behind
you
you.
said that. Now
I was just
appreciate
impressed by you. It was very good.
Yeah, I appreciate
Paper
it.
in hand and everything. That's
Let's get back.
intense.
Let's get back.
All
to
right,
the
back
game.
to the show.
Yeah. So it's 1-0, and we're heading into the bottom of the 9th. 1 run to tie, 2 runs to win. If we stay tied, we go into a tiebreaker. We put the man on second,
Yep.
and we go to the tiebreaker.
Hate that rule, though.
I do too.
Come on.
Yes. Yeah.
You ready, Jacoby?
Here we go.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Pressure's on.
The Hartford Yard Coats.
That's our team. I know that team.
You know that team? Yeah. The Hartford Yard Coats.
Yard goats.
Goats. I thought you said
Yeah.
coats. I was going to
That's
say
cor-
that can't be a
That's
team.
correct. That's like I hung a curveball right now.
Yeah, no,
How do you know that team?
MLB The Show.
I knew you were good. Video game.
Oh my!
Some video game. So
Yeah.
what? You build a player and you started off in the minor league?
Yep, and they worked their way up, and I might have played for them before, actually. I don't know.
So, what does the yard goat mascot look like? Is it just? I mean, it's just a goat.
Oh, it's like a cartoon goat-looking deal, I think. I don't know what it's got on it. Can't remember.
Big Y on its chest or something like that.
I don't know. I just know it's a little cartoon goat.
That's okay. That's why we have these excellent producers, because right now
He's looking for a logo.
he's looking for the logo and he's putting it up right beside us. We're
probably
talking
will.
about it.
Probably will.
Should we point to the right or left and be like, that was awesome, Bo. I'm glad you did that. All right, you ready? Here we go.
So this is
for the win.
This is for the game. This is
All right.
drive this run in and it's over.
You ready?
Yep.
The Salt Lake Bees.
The Salt Lake Bees.
I know this because I'm an Angels fan, and that's our affiliate. Yes, that's a team.
We have a winner.
We have a winner.
We have a winner. Music
winner.
goes off. Producer always doing a great job.
Fireworks in the background.
Fireworks,
all that kind of
everything.
stuff. Yeah, maybe. But he's capable.
He is capable.
Yes,
He's good.
for sure.
He's our ace.
He is.
Yeah, or a closer.
Closer.
Either.
Closer.
He's
Okay.
both.
I got
Actually, I'm the
Yeah.
closer.
you. You are?
Yeah.
What?
What?
A new tip. He's a closer. Comes in from center.
I thought, didn't we talk about that? We talked about you being a
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
you
he
should
actually
have
does
jumped in and said, "Oh, I was a pitcher."
Yeah, I pitch a little bit.
Oh,
I understand. I mean, you want to focus on the Trailblazer players, not the Meredith players. So, hey, real quick, tips from a Trailblazer. How about some advice for an incoming freshman?
Definitely stay on top of your classes and go to those classes so that you get good reports from your teachers and you maintain eligibility, because that could sometimes be a problem. Definitely take advantage of the free food events on campus. Get free lunch probably like once a week. They have it all the time. And then lastly, I would say build a good relationship with the other student athletes. So like all the other sports involved, like the soccer and the men's basketball, women's basketball, volleyball. Just build a good relationship with those and you'll have a lot better of an experience.
I would say just manage your time and have a schedule. Just being late, I mean, especially if you're a student athlete, being late, it hurts you and the team. So just having like a schedule you can go off of and organizing yourself.
Powerful stuff, partner.
yeah. So now, if the weather changes like it's supposed to, you guys pick right back up with the schedule as we head into the weekend. And
Yep. We have a doubleheader tomorrow, actually.
Yep.
okay, and we're recording early, so by the time people see this, you will have already swept another one.
Oh, yeah.
They'll be 4-0.
4-0.
He'll be 4-0, and he'll have another Grand Slam or two.
Yeah, hopefully.
That'd be nice.
And then we got 4 games this weekend too. So
Wow, big weekend.
Yeah, it is a big weekend.
Now those home games.
All
Yeah.
home. 6
So
home games.
folks need to come out this weekend because
Gordon Moore Park.
Gordon Moore Park, and they can check the website to
Yep.
find out what time the games start. And I'm sure the more fan support, the better it is, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So awesome.
So good weather's on the way.
Yeah,
50s and 60s.
Let's hope so.
Can't
And
wait.
it stays
Yes.
that way.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thanks for being with us. Continued success. Keep that undefeated. We expect you just to go undefeated now, and
No pressure.
no pressure. Yeah. but thanks for being with us. It's been fun. Congratulations for being our inaugural winner of our contest.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And good. You gave it your all.
Next time.
Yeah, next time.
You get a point for wearing Trailblazer stuff and not Maryville stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, you got.
I appreciate
So some props for that. Hey, next week's or the next time you see us, we're going to be talking to Kevin Edwards from the Always Late TV Film Festival here on campus. Angela Hung is going to be talking about the Lewis and Clark Student Art Show in our next podcast as well. And we're going to be introduced to the new Lewis and Clark volleyball coach, Jenna Brown. So that's what we've got planned for you the next time we see you. Cody, anything else you want to say before we
I got nothing, partner.
That's it. That's all you got.
I'm fired up. You did a good job again today. I appreciate you.
Well, thanks for making time to be here with your busy schedule. I know you're always on the run. Thank you guys as well. And with that, we'll see you next time.
We are
LC A to Z.